Your liver doesn't run on a morning schedule. Between 1 and 3 in the morning, while you sleep, it's busy filtering toxins, making bile, and rebuilding tissue. And most people send it into all that work running on nothing but stomach acid and an empty gut. Stir a spoon of extra virgin olive oil into warm lemon water before bed, though, and you're handing it the same compounds researchers have tied to lower liver fat and better enzyme readings. Think about how much this organ handles: more than 500 jobs a day. It clears drugs and toxins out of your blood, makes bile to break down fat, stores the vitamins your cells run on, and it quietly decides how much energy you'll wake up with, depending on how well it worked through the night. And when the sun goes down, that work doesn't wind down, it picks up. The deepest part of that repair happens between 1 and 3 in the morning, when blood flow to the liver rises and the cells that took a beating during the day get rebuilt. If you're past 60, you probably know the feeling when that cycle starts to weaken, waking up stiff and foggy with a kind of heaviness under your ribs even after a full night's sleep. That's easy to write off as age. A lot of the time, it's your liver struggling to keep up. Part of why it goes unnoticed is that a standard blood test can come back perfectly normal while fat is quietly building up inside the liver cells. Fatty liver disease affects about 38% of adults worldwide now, and some projections have it passing 55% by 2040. The liver keeps working hard after 60, but the overnight regeneration just isn't as quick as it used to be. For you, that might show up as a tiredness no amount of coffee touches, or a belly that stays round even when you're cutting calories. There's no pill that fixes it. What actually moves the needle is what you eat and how you support your body overnight. So people reach for detox teas, extreme fasts, harsh herbal supplements they found online. None of it helps. If anything, it just tires the liver out more. Your liver already knows how to clean itself. It's been doing it since before you were born, and it doesn't need a power wash from a tea bag to manage it. The actual issue is that the way most of us eat leaves the liver short on the fats and antioxidants it needs to do its repair work, and decades of cut all the fat advice made that worse. Strip out the healthy fat entirely, or flood your body with processed seed oils like soybean and corn, and the liver ends up storing more fat and making weaker bile. Those industrial oils are loaded with omega-6, which feeds inflammation in liver tissue over time. And most cleansers just pull nutrients out of the body, leaving the liver with even less to work with. What's interesting is what researchers found when they came at this from the other direction. They followed people eating one specific kind of fat and watched their liver fat drop on ultrasound while their enzyme levels improved right alongside it. That fat was extra virgin olive oil, and this wasn't somebody's blog post. These were real clinical trials in real hospitals tracked over months. In 2025, a team pulled this together into a large systematic review in the journal Nutrients. They went through 25 solid human studies that tested extra virgin olive oil against fatty liver disease, and the pattern was hard to miss. The people eating olive oil regularly had less fat in the liver on ultrasound, lower levels of the enzymes ALT and AST, and fewer inflammation markers in their blood. There's a reason for that. Extra virgin olive oil is high in polyphenols and in monounsaturated fat, mostly oleic acid, and those compounds act as anti-inflammatories and antioxidants once they're inside the liver. The oleic acid helps liver cells burn through fat instead of stockpiling it, while the polyphenols protect the tissue from the kind of oxidative damage that piles up over decades of processed food. You've probably been pouring this stuff on your salad for years without thinking about it. The researchers treated it as an actual therapy. They found the strongest results at higher intakes, somewhere above 30 to 50 grams a day, but even smaller amounts taken consistently showed clear improvement within 4 to 12 weeks. A 2023 review of 6 randomized controlled trials landed in the same place. 4 of those studies used ultrasound to measure liver fat and found improvement in every single olive oil group, and one that pitted extra virgin olive oil directly against sunflower oil saw a sharper drop in the olive oil group. It goes back further than that. A 2018 study on PubMed found a low-calorie diet with added olive oil dropped ALT and AST significantly compared to the control diets. And a 2020 study in PLOS One showed people who swapped butterfat for extra virgin olive oil improved their liver fat in just 8 weeks. No medication, no extreme protocol. They changed the fat they were eating and let their livers catch up. Which brings it back to you. Your liver doesn't need a pharmacy. It needs the right oil at the right time, taken consistently enough that your cells can actually use it during that overnight repair window. The problem is that swallowing a spoon of plain oil is genuinely unpleasant, and your body doesn't absorb it well that way either. So you turn it into an emulsion, something that goes down easy and works faster. Here's how. 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, the juice from a quarter of a lemon, a small pinch of Himalayan salt, and a cup of warm water, around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature does matter. Too hot, and you damage the delicate compounds in the oil. Too cold, and you're shocking your digestive system right before bed. Pour the warm water into a small jar with a tight lid, add the lemon juice and the salt, then add the oil last. Lid on, shake it hard for about 10 seconds. What comes out is a light, drinkable emulsion rather than a greasy slick floating on top of the water. And that difference is the whole point. Oil sitting in a puddle is harder for your stomach to deal with, but once it's emulsified, the fat is blended into the water and acid, and your body pulls the polyphenols in faster. The acid from the lemon and the shaking break the oil into tiny droplets that go down easy and sit light. Drink it about 15 to 30 minutes before bed, ideally on an empty stomach so nothing else is competing for absorption. Each piece is doing something. The warm water relaxes the ducts that carry bile. The lemon juice gives you citric acid and a little vitamin C that helps keep your digestive fluids balanced. The pinch of salt adds trace minerals and honestly just keeps the whole thing from tasting like oil. And the olive oil is delivering the polyphenols and oleic acid your liver leans on for its overnight repair. And the first couple of nights your body is mostly just adjusting. You might feel a bit of warmth in your upper belly as your gallbladder responds to the fat by letting go of some stored bile. If the taste is too much at first, start with 2 teaspoons instead of the full tablespoon and build up by around night 4, somewhere around nights 3 to 5. What most people notice first is an easier, more complete bowel movement in the morning, and that bloating that used to settle under the ribs overnight starting to ease off. By nights 6 and 7, it's less about digestion and more about how you feel when you open your eyes. The morning fog lifting quicker and the heaviness under your ribs giving way to something lighter. It's worth knowing what's normal along the way. That first night or two, Some people feel a slight movement or a mild pressure under the right side of the ribs. That's just the gallbladder contracting to release bile in response to the oil. It isn't pain, and it passes within a few minutes. By the morning of day 3, the usual change is an easier bowel movement without the straining and a belly that looks and feels less swollen. By day 7, most people report waking up with more energy and less grogginess even without sleeping any longer, and some notice their skin looking clearer too, which tracks since the liver and the skin are connected through how the body clears waste. Stick with it past that first week, and the research points to deeper changes in liver enzymes and fat metabolism showing up around the 4-week mark. Before you go trying this, one thing, if you have gallstones or any gallbladder disease, check with your doctor first, because a concentrated dose of fat can trigger gallbladder contractions that hurt when stones are in the picture. If you're on blood thinners or you deal with bad acid reflux, start with half the oil and see how your body handles it over the first 3 nights. For everyone else, the risk is low, since at the end of the day, this is food, not a drug. Just keep in mind the research on enzymes and liver fat plays out over weeks and months, not overnight. So this 7-day window is really about the digestion and morning energy shifts you'll feel first. Think of it as support for your liver rather than a cure for fatty liver disease. It gives your body something to work with. It doesn't replace real medical treatment or a decent diet. Your liver knows how to heal itself. Give it a spoon of the right oil in warm water before bed and let it do its thing overnight. Start the 7-day golden emulsion tonight, and if this was useful, subscribe for more natural protocols.